What was you doing for your project?
Yeah. So I want to see what's or they'd have to leave. I said it was difficult to convey this message back to the volunteers because at this time it wasn't clear what was meant by towing the line and what they would have to do. And perhaps it would be helpful if the agencies who would be wanting to purchase services from one-to-one state clearly what they needed, then we could respond. A case of being proactive rather than reactive. And it might be also helpful in that manner for the volunteers in that they would know what was required of them, and then they could decide what they wanted to respond to. I stated that it wasn't clear exactly what was required from the health service or social services, as the referrals had changed since the contracts had been agreed with various doctors' surgeries. But it would appear that there perhaps be a need for group work as well as working with individuals in both the health service and social services, and that clearly from the contact I'd had that day with Chris Gray that probably returns would be necessary monthly. And Nick said this was so that social services would be looking for returns monthly. And also he said that George has stated that the volunteers would have to supply far more hours than they were. It may be that they would have to give at least 4 hours per week to the project. I stated that at the moment this could be difficult because in the main they had been asked to give perhaps 1 hour, or 20 volunteers give 1 hour each, and in addition they did also give 3 hours of project in a training session. He said that perhaps training would be not carried out in future. We'd have to look at training individually, that there'd be no group training, that we would prepare training on an individual basis and gear it to the needs of the volunteer. I queried whether this would be cost effective, whether it was cheaper to train an individual or train a group, and that training costs, where would they come from?